Hi and welcome back to part 3. Fingers crossed, the final part so we can decorate. So we've got up to this stage on part 1 and part 2. All the excess bits and pieces, all the clay that I cut off earlier, I've literally just put them all into a ball. Just give it a bit of a twist. And then I'm going to roll this out with my rolling pin, which is going to be this top part here. So because I want this as a guide, I'm just going to pop some flour on there. That will stop my clay sticking to the cardboard until I'm happy with the shape. I'm now going to take my acrylic rolling pin, roll this out all the way along my cardboard. If I don't have enough, you can make up some more or just add some white. My cardboard is now covered, so you just need to flip this upside down and then cut around all the excess. Next, you will need to peel this off, pop in some PVA glue and then pop that over the top. If it has really stuck to your cardboard, then, you know, if you haven't floured your surface enough, then that's absolutely fine. You don't have to add your glue, but you will know. So taking the base, this is now going to sit on the top of our cake. I'm going to run some PVA glue, my clear one, just around this edge here, pop the lid on, and then squeeze everything into place, just working all the way around my cake, keeping the shape. So I'm just going to jump in and show you. So I've just glued my lid. Then I'm just taking my thumb and I'm just rolling that clay just along the edge, just to cover that cardboard. So just work all the way around, just squishing all your clay together. So next we're going to add the drip. You can use 3D fabric paint. You can also use some decoration jam. I bought this off Temu. I bought these from Amazon. You can also use a coloured glue stick. You can also mix up your Mod Podge with paint, bit of builder's cut just to make it a little bit thicker. Pop it in a little squirty bottle like this and then drizzle that over. So I am going to be using the 3D fabric paint for this one, and I have chosen pink. So we haven't put a base on this for the simple reason now we can pop our hand inside, cover up all this cardboard. If you are not having drip, what I would do is just run some glue again over there, roll it over, just use a craft knife and neaten up all your edges. So I don't need to do that stage because obviously we're adding this drip. So I've put my hand inside, I'm going to tilt it to the side, I'm going to start at the top, I'll just show you one part. I'm going to go up and down, all the way along, just forming the drip. So don't worry if you've missed any parts because we can go over that again in a second. Just going to stop there. And then I want some more drip in here. So I'm just going to lightly squeeze and just drag that down. Work the way all along. My cake. So I'm going to do that all the way around. If there's any gaps like this that I don't like, you can take a little skewer, cocktail stick, or you can use the end of your bottle and just pull down your puffy paint just between those edges there. You can obviously also use a little brush as well, a little paintbrush. This does take a good 24 hours to dry because obviously it's quite a thick drip. So I'm going to work all the way around and then I'll be back. All my drip is now on, going all the way around my cake. So now we're going to add the little ice cream scoop for the top, or you can obviously use your lightweight polyfiller and start decorating the top. You might find as well your cardboard is becoming quite floppy. Let me just show you. Because this hasn't got a base on it and everything is drying, do not worry, you know, it does all sort of like set really hard like this one and it'll all stay flat. Obviously it will help once you get a base on it as well. So let me grab a poly ball. This is a 6cm poly ball cut in half. However, you can obviously, these are dry now, use ice cream scoops if you want to. There is a tutorial on how we do these ice cream scoops. Depending on what size you want, you can have like a double on the top. But I'm just going to go for this polyball just in case you haven't got these already made up. So I've cut this in half. I'm now going to get my clay. So I've just got some white foam clay. You will see which brand I use, which will be in part 1. Just going to sort of like spread this out, because what I want to do is now cover this ball. I'm going to keep mine white. I'm going to take some of the clear PVA glue that we've used throughout this whole cake build. Just coat my poly ball, and then I'm going to just place my clay just over the top. This will just help your clay stick to your foam ball. So now, just keeping the shape, you're just going to work all the way around, just forming like a little ice cream scoop. So use your ball as a guide, tuck everything in, tuck all your edges in, and then just get your scissors and just trim off some of the excess. We want a little bit so it just looks like it's melted slightly. And then using the palm of your hands, just roll this down. Then you can start adding some texture to this with your foils. You can also use some cocktail sticks, a little craft knife, whatever you want, just to form the shape of the ice cream. So I'm just going to work all the way around, just adding some texture, just to create the ice cream scoop for the top. Once you have a rough shape, you next need to take your PVA glue, just run it along the edge, and then pop that in the middle of your cake. Next, you can take a paintbrush or a skewer, whatever you've got to hand. We're just going to sort of like start pushing these edges into the top part, just pulling it out, working all the way around. Next, I'm going to add some of these little charms that I sell. I'm going to glue one on here, again using the same glue. Then I'm going to glue one either side, and then 3 along the back. It is easier to add your glue onto your charms, and then that way you can sort of like move them about wherever they need to go. So I'm just going to squish that in there, and then repeat the same process where I want the others. These are now all in place. So next I'm going to take out some of the Lotus biscuits, some of the white chocolate, and I'm just going to start placing these inside this clay, just making an indent of where I want them to go. That way I can then pop those out of the indent, and then just use the same tacky glue, PVA glue, to attach all these down. So you've got to, have a play about. I'm going to get a white chocolate as well. Then I'm just going to spin it round, and then I'm going to do the same on the other side. So if there's a charm that I don't like, I can just pop it off the clay. But the clay will hold all your charms in place while you have a play about with the middle. Once you are happy with the placement of everything, just pull this off your clay, use your clear PVA glue or your tacky glue, and then just sit that back into your clay, pushing down the edges just so you can get a little bit of ripple. That just stops everything sitting flat. So I'm just going to glue all these bits in now. Everything is now glued into place. So the last part I want to do with this is just to add a drip, just like I did with the other one. So like I mentioned earlier, I did get these from Amazon. They come in a pack of 18. This is the one that I've chosen. It is glitter gold, but it looks like milk chocolate. So I'm just going to give that a shake. Then I'm just going to start on the edge and then just drizzle that all over my charms, and all over the white clay. So I'm going to form sort of like a loop and just go backwards and forwards, just squeezing the puffy paint. You can then flip it around if there's any bits that you've missed, and just join all these bits and pieces together just by forming another little drip. You might want to start from the top or just start from this little edge here. So mine is obviously still drying, but just to show you, once everything is dry, you will then need to pop this onto some cardstock and cut that out just to form the base underneath, or you can skip that part and glue it straight onto a plate or a cake board. So this is the finished result. I really hope you enjoyed the tutorial. I will see you soon. Goodbye everybody.